Yo sup bro.
It is NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams. Should be a terrific game here tonight. From State Farm Arena, tonight it's the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. The tip is won by the Sixers. Anthony to Butler. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. His first effort off the mark. The drive right to the basket. Split the D there, but he can't get it to drop. Simmons to Anthony. Can't connect.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
They'll get it down low to Lopez. The pass set it all up.
That's it? That's all the celebration I get? I wanted to see a little bit more off that one.
Simmons to Butler for three. And Jimmy Butler all in stride. Catch and shoot three is good.
You know, Jimmy Buckets really has an inspiring story. From being homeless at the age of 13 before moving in with a friend, reads like a basketball version of The Blind Side. That grit has become the fabric of his DNA. From Tyler Junior College to Marquette to the 30th pick in the first round. Are you kidding me? To where he is now, Jimmy Buckets has had to earn every inch that this game has given him.
Easy path to the rim.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Trae Young to Kevin Huerter. Jay, I'm going to say that you don't know this, but since 1980, the Hawks have drafted only 4 players to have appeared in the All-Star game. Doc Rivers, Kevin Willis, Al Horford, and Jeff Teague.
Well, how about a guy named Dominique Wilkins? I'm sorry.
Oh, well, interesting that you'd ask. Dominique Wilkins was actually selected by the Utah Jazz. To Anthony. Simmons. Misfires. It's no good. Knocked loose. Trae Young. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
And no emotion, just that ice-cold stare. That's a sign of somebody who's here to compete.
Butler to Embiid. The shot by Simmons won't go down.
And that's how you close out on a shooter with a sense of urgency. The shooter was more worried about his landing space than he was his shot.
Sixers with the rebound. To Butler. From long range. Can't connect. It's no good. To Trae Young. Nothing going here on that drive. To Lopez. Robin Lopez. That's now 4. He hasn't missed.
What a pass. I have no clue how that ball even made it through the traffic.
To Butler. Gets it in the left corner. Beyond the arc for 3. Textbook Melo. Hand in his face. Lets it fly and scores.
Don't seem shocked. This is how the game is played these days. Shooting a 3 is like shooting a layup.
Now the Hawks coach gonna call a timeout as they'll make sure they're aligned here in a 2-point ball game. We have both squads set to make some moves right now. Couple of cracks at the line now.
Guys like Gary Payton would always take ones early like this all the time. Number 1, to see if they'll get caught. And number 2, to leave a little mark on you to remind you that they'll be on you all game long.
Trae Young at the line. And he connects on the first free throw. Good free throw shooting. Knocks down a pair. Philadelphia with the basketball. Markelle Fultz. Butler buries it on the catch and shoot.
And I don't know why the defense continues to help on guys that drive. Make them take shots over your bigs. By you helping more, you're just leaving three-point shooters open on the perimeter.
Knocked loose. To Butler. Jimmy Butler. He's 3 of 5. 60% shooting from the field.
You know, every time I watch Jimmy buckets, the tenacity he plays with on the defensive end, it just reconfirms the fact that he's been named an All-Star 4 times. He shot a career best 47% from the field in 2017-18. So when you think about trying to lock him up, you have to limit his touches, and you have to force him to catch the ball with his back to the basket. Make him put the ball down on the ground and make contested shots, because if you don't, Jimmy Butler will cut you apart.
Trae Young to Lin. Fires the three. No good. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
And body control is everything, especially on the defensive side of the floor. That was a great contest up top, but your body hit him on the way down. That's a foul every time.
John Collins trying to cash in on the three-point play. 71% for his career. And he can't convert the free throw. To Butler. That's out of bounds. Last touch by a Sixer. It's Atlanta ball. Trae Young. Surveys the floor. Trae Young. Down low Collins. The rebound taken down by the Sixers. Redick. That's playing with fire. J.J. Redick wide open. Good luck.
It's all about creating space with the dribble. Once you have that gap, you can beat somebody in a variety of ways. He chose a dagger with the 3.
Late heave to beat the buzzer. We played a quarter here on Valentine's Day. Jay and I are back after this. It's a special presentation of the NBA on EA Sports. Second quarter set to start. This is what we like. This game is certainly in the balance.
Yeah, both teams have came out. They play with great energy, and they've also done an excellent job of establishing their own tempo. They have to make sure they have to push through that and do more of that in the second quarter.
Lets it fly from long range. Not that time. He misses. To Redick. Fires the 3. He was all over him.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
The assist from number 24.
4-3. That no good. Off the mark. Lin with it. They're down 3. Oh, the touch at the rim. Count it.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Sixers control it. Probing the defense. To Butler. Going to launch beyond the arc. He continues to shoot it well from beyond the arc. That's 4 threes now in this first half.
Yeah, and confidence comes from discipline and training. You can tell that kid's been putting in the time in the gym.
To Jeremy Lin. Here's a chance from long range. And he can't get it to go down. It's no good. To Redick. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. That's how you defend.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Lin not getting the bounce. To Butler. Has a chance. Deep two there. Won't go.
It's so important to instill confidence in your best player. I know he missed a shot earlier, but that doesn't mean that you can't run the same exact play and let him prove he's a player he thinks he is, and we all know he is.
Now a whistle and a timeout for Philadelphia as they'll make sure they're aligned here in a 2-point basketball game. Both coaches dipping into their reserves. Changes coming onto the floor.
Into the game for Atlanta, number 3.
Simmons to Butler for 3. And it's the big man, Len, with the rebound. To Kevin Huerter. Simmons. Cleaning the offensive glass. Basket's good on the follow. Way to stay with it. We talk so much about who are the MVP candidates, but there are other guys who are so valuable to their teams, and Jimmy Butler at the forefront of that list.
I have a phrase that I use when I describe players like Jimmy Butler. It's called most valuable mentality. There are certain players that approach the game with a certain mindset every single day that they will do anything possible to win the ball game. He plays with his heart and soul every single possession and every night, and he will leave it on the court if that means he can win the ball game.
Lin with it. Down 2. Knocked loose. Lin. Had a chance, but it's no good. To Butler. Goes reverse to lay it in.
Well, the shooting has been spectacular, but one of the things that I've seen as the difference maker in this ball game is how they are catching the basketball. They're not establishing a pivot foot, which leaves the defense wondering which way you can drive, but when that shot is working like that, you got it any way you want it.
Changes coming from both sides right now.
Subbing in for the Philadelphia 76ers, number 20, Markelle Fultz.
From long range. Still hasn't hit from deep in the first half. No good.
Shooters shoot, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Hawks have it. Trae Young. Down low for Len. Scores from the post.
There you go, finally. Shoot your shot.
Fultz to Anthony. Beyond the arc for 3. And the rebound taken in by Len. Trae Young. To Kevin Huerter. Fires the 3. Trae Young able to knock it down. Tough shot with the hand in his face.
Ed, let me tell you how this one goes. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have some. Everyone's getting a piece of the rock tonight.
Markelle Fultz to Butler. Lets it fly from long range. That won't go. Robin Lopez. Can't ask for much more. He's perfect. 5 for 5 from the field.
This is basketball one-on-one. Play inside out. Give the big man the ball, and the rest of the court will open up. That was an easy layup.
Not going down here. On the follow. Way to stay with it. Desperation shot here from half court. So a tight one as we reach the break in a one-point game. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports halftime report. Jalen.
Thanks, guys. Let's take a look at what went down so far in this one. The 76ers are in a tight battle after 2 quarters. Clearly, the number of three-pointers these guys scored in the first half was incredible. And if they can keep that up, it's going to be tough to keep that team down. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Philadelphia 76ers. The Hawks are within striking distance at the half. And even though they don't have the lead, they're doing a great job of moving the ball around. They might find themselves on the winning end of the scoreboard if they can keep it up. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Atlanta Hawks.
Game track. Assists.
We're seeing unselfish basketball in this matchup, with each team turning good shots into great shots. These squads really know how to let it flow.
Player of the half.
Butler did a great job of reading the defense and exploiting the opportunities where he can make the most damage. He's definitely feeling it. Forget cold. This guy will be happy to be lukewarm at this point. He can't seem to get anything going. Here are the top plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
And that concludes our halftime report. Thanks for joining us, and see you again after the game.
Here's Atlanta with the basketball.
I got ball.
Knocks it down from mid-range.
Well, a couple of things. Number one, his range is as soon as he steps over the half-court line. He can shoot the ball from that far and will shoot the ball from that far, which goes to show you how confident he is. Secondly, he never seems to be squared up towards the basket. He can make shots off different angles. And he's able to take the ball and put it into pockets where as a defender, it makes you lunge towards it. But his quick hand speed combined with that quick release and his ability to shoot the ball from anywhere and everywhere on the court makes him one of the most dynamic scorers we've seen on the collegiate level for a very long time.
Simmons with it. His guys down 3. Anthony. Yes, Carmelo Anthony. He has struggled just a little bit. 2 for 5.
Well, the defense has been good, but the shot-making ability has been better. And sometimes for NBA players at this level, the more you're in their face, the more it helps them center their focus on the target, which is making the shot. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, it's a real thing.
It's in the hands of Philadelphia. Butler has a look. Add 2 points to the board.
Closing out or contesting his shot is a really bad idea because now the offense knows they can extend you away from the basket, and that's away from your original position as being a help defender.
And counted at the rim.
As my mother would say to the defender, A for effort, F for results.
Butler, deep left corner. Simmons knocks it down.
And if you're on D right now, if you're off on the weak side, stunt towards the driver. That means fake at him. Don't overcommit. Stunt, then get back to you or stay at home. Force him to make one of those passes or force him to take a crazy shot at the rim.
Able to convert inside.
Old school equals high percentage.
Simmons fires the three. Won't go down. Here's Atlanta. Trae Young to Kevin Huerter. 4-3. That's off the side of the rim. No good. Simmons into the front court. His team up by 1. Joel Embiid. Consistent effort. He's at 50%.
No fading on that shot. Strictly up and down.
Fundamentals 101. Going to launch beyond the arc. Rebound cleared by Philly. To Butler. Trying to cash in. Unbothered by the defense as he drills it. There's a toughness he learned under Tibbs at 2 stops. And no question, that rubs off on younger players.
There is something that Jimmy Butler does that no other player in the NBA does. He gets into your psyche. He gets into your head each and every possession. He enjoys the process of the fight. Every single blow. There is a pleasure in the paint.
How you practice leads to that. Nice pump fake.
The okie doke. Let's see if he'll try that one again.
Simmons to Anthony. Joel Embiid. He's 3 of 5. 60% shooting from the field.
That's lunch pail business right there. Don't worry about the no call. Keep powering through.
Prince guarded by Carmelo Anthony. Trae Young to Kevin Huerter. Lopez. Embiid with the board. Sixers have the basketball. Take stock of the floor. Trying to create. Embiid to Butler. Here's a chance from long range. He's been dialed in from long distance. That's now 5 threes for the game.
Nothing more painful than the next day watching tape, seeing the fact that he got 15 points off 3-point shots.
Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor. Jeremy Lin, 3 for 6 now.
Might have had an extra dribble or two there, but he got the shot he wanted.
Fultz. That pass stolen by the Hawks. Wide open look, won't go. Redick with it. Shot clock turned off as they try to extend the lead. Anthony. And it's the big man, Len, with the rebound. That misses with a second to go. That'll do it. Third quarter complete. It's the Sixers out in front. It's been a compelling game so far. The fourth quarter is underway. Philadelphia with the basketball. Simmons to Butler. Jumper's good.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Embiid to Simmons. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Off the mark. No good. To Trae Young. For three. Buries it. On the catch and shoot.
Just because someone is listening to you doesn't mean that they actually hear you. At the end of the game, when players get tired, they listen to what the assignment was, but they didn't hear what it was.
Anthony cleans it up. Give him 2 points. High percentage.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
It's the Hawks with the basketball. Trae Young to Kevin Huerter. Gets it in the left corner from long range. That's off the side of the rim, short.
And there's always so much talk about defense. How about offensively? If you continue to attack that shooter, now you're making him work on the defensive end. That makes him take his legs away on the offensive end.
Trae Young. Here comes the screen. Prince matched up with Carmelo Anthony. Right down Broadway for the 2. Defender has to pick him up.
The defender needs to do a better job of forcing a pickup there.
In the front court comes Simmons. Leads 5. To Butler. Anthony. And he buries it.
Defense, do the math. You force him to take tough twos, you'll probably have a better chance to win this game if you can slow down the pace.
Trae Young has a chance. The rebound belongs to the 76ers. To Simmons. Beyond the arc for 3. Off the iron. No good. He gets it.
There you go. I like seeing his scoring coming from unlikely sources.
Sixers call for time. That's their first of the final 3 minutes. That leaves them with 1 remaining.
And this is where habits come into play. Players think they can turn that switch on and off at their beckoning call, but it doesn't work that way. That's why coaches talk about practicing good habits on a daily basis, because they show up in the fourth.
Both teams tweaking their lineups. Here come some changes.
Substitutions.
Sixers control it. Probing the defense. To Redick. Fires the 3. He engulfed him that time. Lin with it. The deficit is 6. To Lopez. It was right there.
One of the best kept secrets in the game. Utilizing a head fake. Get the defender in the air. Crack into him. Don't give the refs any excuse not to call foul. I put that one on you. You went up a little bit lazy.
Time to shuffle things up.
Number 25, Alex Lynn. And number 24. 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Jeremy Lin. 4 out of 7.
You know, he may not show up in your feed all the time with the crazy highlights, but he's one of the most underrated creative shot makers we have in this game.
It's in the hands of Philadelphia. Lets it fly from long range. Man, that was a tough shot.
And it just seems like the defense has lethargic closeouts. You need to close out with more of a sense of urgency. Run them off the three-point line. Make them take a tough 2 rather than an easy 3.
Fires the 3. Buries the trifecta.
It's easy to get lost in the chaos of the game down the stretch. But great awareness by the shooter to get those toes right behind the three-point line.
Now a steal by Atlanta.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in a playoff game, it will.
Lynn. Count the basket. A lot of contact. No foul.
In the last 10 sequences down the court, everybody's touched the ball. You don't see anybody with any kind of negative expressions on their face because everybody's eating.
Hawks have the rebound. Finishing inside the paint on that one. Sixers have the basketball.
1 minute remaining in the fourth quarter.
The big man, Len, up for the block.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
Lynn with it. His group now down 2. To Ken Bazemore. Lynn. Now ready with a couple of free throws.
The game is too tight for you to be taking risks like that. You want to avoid foul trouble at all costs.
Can't connect on the first free throw.
Number 11.
Knocks down the second after missing the first. That pass stolen by the Hawks.
Turnovers like that at this point of the game are daggers. You can't afford to have empty possessions in the final 2 minutes.
Here comes the intentional foul, but they did have one to give, so no free throws yet. They'll shoot after the next foul.
Too close to call right now. We're in clock management mode. That was a good play.
Now the intentional foul as they get it with a little under 20 seconds left to play.
Smart play. You have fouls to use. Good way to manage the clock without burning a timeout.
And hits the first free throw. Able to convert on both free throws. The Hawks will use a timeout. They're going to have to draw something up for an open look at a three. Watch him do the rest. Slam dunk.
Oh, man, did you see that swiftness? He dunked that thing like a tennis ball.
It looked like that in his hand. Nice pass to get things going.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. 4-3. He's not shy about shooting it from out there, but he misses this time. And they'll get the intentional foul. So 2 free throws coming up, and you figure 1 out of 2 could be enough to seal the deal.
Okay, now look over to the sideline and see what the staff is trying to draw up on the next play. That's good clock management thus far.
And gets both to drop at the line. Deep 3 at the buzzer. The Sixers are victorious as they get a good win on the road. That'll wrap things up. For Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
Here we go with the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The 76ers emerged victorious after a tight finish. And of course, I've got to mention how many times they scored from beyond the arc. They were so confident with the 3-ball, and it was instrumental to their success. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored. For the Philadelphia 76ers, the Hawks lost a tight one today, and you can see the disappointment. They shot exceptionally well from beyond the arc, but even that long-range efficiency wasn't enough for them to get the win. Check out the leading scores for the Atlanta Hawks.
Game track. 3-point shooting.
Each of these teams were solid with their long-range shooting. So by extension, they were pretty poor with their perimeter defense. Closing out on shooters must always happen, whether you're tired or not.
Player of the game. Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show. These are the top plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
And here we've got the upcoming games for the Atlanta Hawks. See y'all next time. Jalen Rose signing out.